Ilya Sorokin, the best player in this game for both teams tonight, as the New York Islanders beat the Boston Bruins 2-1. And welcome to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. Alongside Billy Jaffe and Barry Peterson, I'm Dale Arnold. 5 games in a row now the Bruins have gone without a win. And by the way, all 5 of those games have been decided by a single goal.
Yeah, and they've gotten into overtime a couple of, regardless. They needed 2 points, so they didn't even get one in this one. And I know it was an interesting finish, but too much too late, or too little too late, Bear. And kind of the epitome of what we've been seeing from the Bruins this year. They're up 16-1 or 16-2 shots on goal.
Yep.
But it's still 0-0, then they give up the goal. Like, that epitomizes where we're at right now.
Yeah, it really was. And they were in that situation, to your point, where you outplay them and outshoot them 15-6 in that first period. As you mentioned, Dale, Sorokin was unbelievable. He kept them in that game, and to come out of that period 1-0 kind of put you back on your heels. If this was a game early on in the season, you and I would be looking at each other and go, you know what? If they play like that, they're going to be in the playoffs. You're going to win more than you lose. But when you lose this many, and you lose them late in the season like they have been, especially at home, that hurts.
Ilya Sorokin, as we said, was terrific tonight. So then it stands to reason, right, that the weirdest shot of the night ends up in the net behind him, because David Pastrnak is just that hot.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because you're thinking, how did that go in? Sorokin. And I think I wonder if I don't want to say rattled, but he probably wondered the same thing, too. This is a good play, not once, but twice, as he dances by Sipnikov and then throws the puck towards the net. And I think it goes off the heel of his stick as he's putting his paddle out to block the pass, for the attempted pass, from going across. And then meanwhile, it goes into the net.
Yeah, it's his good second effort as he comes off the bench here and he loses it, but he sticks with it. And he's able to get that puck, and he just fires it. He's trying to find, of course, all the way across the side to Waterspoon, I believe that. Yeah, to Waterspoon. He's trying to fire it across to him, and as Dale says, he's so hot, but he wins the battle along the boards. He moves it and begangs. And, of course, right when that went in, Dale, Billy looked at me and said, well, they're going to pull Sorokin right after that goal.
Well, with that goal, David Pastrnak now reaches the 800-point plateau in his National Hockey League career. You can see the names in front of him, all of them legendary. Some of them in the Hall of Fame already. Some of them will be in the Hall of Fame. That's a pretty impressive list, as David Pastrnak also extended his point-scoring streak to 16 games.
Yeah, and, slow start to the season. We talked in the pregame about it, but it's been nothing but unbelievably beautiful. It's been Pastaville every night here, whether it's here or on the road. He's doing his part. Geeky's doing his part. But in the end, and he came through. Whether it was a little lucky or not, regardless, he came through. In the end, though, not enough other guys came through for this team.
No, and as we've been saying all year long, especially as he's been so hot here in January, you look at his offensive numbers and you go, wow, if they had that power play, he'd really be going. And tonight was a great example. They had he had 8 shots on goal. Their power play had 10. So they had all kinds of opportunities, but they couldn't get it past Sorokin.
And they got back to within a goal with that David Pastrnak score. Had some opportunities late, but just even with the goaltender pulled, could not get one past Ilya Sorokin.
Yeah, he was good right from the get-go, and the Bruins had some high danger chances. How many breakaways? 3 breakaways at least, Billy, that I can count that they missed, and Sorokin was in there. And I can't emphasize enough, as we talked in the pregame, they came here losing 4 in a row, and the Bruins have lost 4 in a row. Early on, the Islanders really needed him, especially in that first period, the beginning of the second, and man, did he come through.
Yeah, he did. He was just solid all game. I mean, he didn't have to be acrobatic. And to his credit, Barry, that means that he was in the right spot, right? And correct. And the puck found him because he was in that right spot. You talked about his rebound control in one of the intermissions. I agree. He was great in that regard. He was the better goalie in this game when it was all said and done. I mean, that's the difference. And the Bruins here with some good effort late in the game. It took them a while though to get everybody going, to get the crowd into it. And you can't do that if you're fighting for a playoff spot. You can't wait until halfway through the third period. The first 10 minutes of that third was nowhere near enough push.
But and then to your point about the goaltending, I actually thought by far and away the best period for Swayman was in the third.
Absolutely.
He had given his team a chance. But right now, with the position that they're in, their goaltending has to be perfect.
especially from the get-go.
Right from the get-go, because their offense right now, they're having so much trouble away from Geekie and Pastrnak scoring goals.
The game-winning goal for the New York Islanders was a series of plays that almost epitomizes the way this season has gone for the Boston Bruins, starting with Pavel Zacha's opportunity at one end of the ice.
Yeah, and so Zacha gets this play. It's an errant pass from Romanov, and then streaking down the ice is Zacha. He fades off to his left just a little bit here. Again, Sorokin, I think, reads it he does read it beautifully. Pastrnak turns the puck over. He whiffs on it a bit. And then they regroup eventually in the neutral zone. Here you go. You got 3-4 Bruins off to one side, though. Kyle Palmieri is going to end up getting to the middle of the ice. The rebound is not controlled well. It goes into the middle of the ice, and good hand-eye coordination from Kyle Palmieri, who pops in his 18th of the season.
Yeah, the Bruins get trapped here a little bit with four guys over here on this near board. And that means when the Islanders get it, they quickly move it up the left side. And here he comes, Lee, with some good speed, and he's all able to get that shot. And as we had talked about, Swayman looked a little bit off his angle, a little bit to the right, and couldn't control the rebound. But again, that's the type of situation we've been talking about. You have a breakaway on one end, you don't score, and then bang, they come right back.
And you notice where Nelson, he makes sure to hit the net. And I know that sounds obvious, but he doesn't try and tuck it short, and miss the net, and it goes wide. It hits the goaltender, has to force him to have to make a save. The rebound comes off the shoulder into the slot. And I'll give Palmieri credit, but you also want to look at Lindholm and say, if in theory you'd love for him to get the stick. But when it's all said and done, the Bruins had the great chance on the Zacha opportunity. And again, that, to your point, Dale, epitomizes that they couldn't score.
Ilya Sorokin was making his 43rd appearance of the season this year for the Islanders. Semyon Varlamov has been out since November, so Sorokin is the guy.
Yeah, he is, and we talked about in the pregame this guy's kind of a workhorse to say the least, Billy. And we said that in order for the Islanders to have an opportunity, he's going to have to steal some games for him down the stretch. We also thought the Bruins goaltenders are going to have to do it. There's a great chance by Coyle early on, and Zacha and Beecher had a breakaway as well, and he just stood his ground, and he competed unbelievably well.
Star of the game presented by Subaru of New England. Fall in love with a brand new Subaru. Ilya Sorokin in his career against the Bruins has played in 9 games, a record of 4-3-2 with the win tonight, gets above 500, 2.73 goals against average, a .906 save percentage, faced 38 shots tonight, stopped 37 of them, and he gets the victory for the New York Islanders. And frustration for the Bruins. You saw Brad Marchand after the game, into it with Casey Cizikas a little bit.
Which is a player that doesn't mind getting into it as well. But definitely, I get it that there's frustration. You tell me. I think they have to be frustrated with themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Again, I didn't see a lot of overt emotion to start the third period. Did you?
No, but again, I thought they had one of their better first periods in a long time. And I think when you're, to your point about struggling, the team is down, to play a period that well and to come out of it down 1-0 kind of puts you back on your heels a little bit.
Our game summary is presented by M&T Bank. Together, we can. The Bruins outshot the Islanders 38-20, outshot them in every period of the game. But the power play was powerless tonight, 0 for 3 with a man advantage.
First one was beautiful.
Oh, did everything but score.
Exactly. It was gorgeous.
And unfortunately, they lose by a final of 2-1.